Welcome to House Blood, where strangers are family. Every episode contains graphic content, including but not limited to copious amounts of blood, unnecessary cursing, death of all ages, be they infants or immortals, fantasy drug use, nudity, mentions of sex, and sound effects of various qualities. We cannot stress enough that this is mature content with adult themes. You have been warned. I hope you're ready.
Alright. Welcome to House Blood. I'm Gray, your DM and host, and we're a D&D 5e podcast currently playing the adventure Hangman March of Storms. The story follows a group of people facing sentient calamity threatening to destroy the world, led by a Genasi army called the Rebirth Bastion. In a nutshell, our party of former prisoners, once used for covert operations by Giuliano's government, embarks on a journey. They confront an emotional vampire controlling a town of Sham, which was made of a thinking slime mimic. After a fierce battle, they defeat the vampire, but not without consequence, like a curse from a hag. Having broken free from imprisonment, the group sets off, delivering cookies to a hag. However, one member is cursed to kill a living seal, leading them to a dungeon with a burial site for a Tarrasque skeleton. The skeleton was created, dungeon was created by architect wizard turned elder brain. To break the curse, they agree to an unusual pact, transplanting the elder brain of a wizard into Tarrasque skeleton. It's very easy to understand how we got to this point. I'm here with our players, Mega.
Hello, I am Mega, and I play Eddie, the Autotriton Bastard class. I also play Eddie, play other characters of a similar naming scheme, because the DM loves me.
Not in the slightest. Also, we're joined here by Nita.
Hi there, Nita here. I play Aaliyah Oblak, the human cleric sorcerer.
As well as Rakuzan.
Howdy everyone, I play Mavet, the wood golem monk, smoky man now.
And finally, Moomy.
Hello! I'm the most hated person in the group for the fact I'm always on fire. I am a fire genasi alchemist that very much, shattered into 1,000 pieces last session. Now I don't know anything going on.
Well put. Alright. Because I gave us a little overview of what's going on, where we are at, I think I can sum it up fairly fucking quick. You guys went from the hallway into the main chamber of a greenhouse that was occupied by a male dryad, guarding the entrance to the grave of ill omens. He tells you that you are not allowed access until you have the blessing of Melora, the queen of the Nistrot forest. You guys decide not to stir up any trouble, going to the west. Eventually, you find yourself inside of a chamber. The chamber is a junction between two experimental rooms that test extreme temperatures. It appears that Owen, the wizard, the owner of this dungeon, has been testing out these extreme temperatures onto animals to see if their skin and flesh could bear it, so he could make a meat suit for his Tarrasque. It was then that our good buddy, our lovely dear, good old Seer, tells Aluya to go into the room. She goes into the room, the door locks, and the oven starts to warm up. Eddie, connecting a few dots, attempts to save Aluya, trying to go past Seer. A PvP breaks out. Aluya manages to teleport her way away from this oven-filled room, this hot room, and Eddie, it appears, kills Seer, finishing on the note of where is little dude. I feel like that covers everything thus far. So, I would like to ask the party, specifically Mavet, because I'm going to bring your ass to this room quick, because I know you're away from this party. What do you all do?
Play dead.
Okay, well, I should probably ask, is there any questions before we jump into roleplay? I feel like that's a better approach to this, because I know that was a lot of information there.
Where's Perfect Cell?
Yeah. Oh, apologies, I didn't even realize I didn't switch the scene. But yes. A lot of information, a lot of things went around. What do you guys do?
The very least, Eddie starts floating back to the ground, and letting the literal smoke clear.
Yeah, and as the smoke clears, you see the animals in the cages for the cold section. They're all cowering away from you. They're at the edges of their cages. I don't know, and it probably stirs up a couple feelings in you, just seeing this look of fear. You feel like somewhere, sometime, so long ago, this kind of fear was shown to you. Can't quite place it.
Eddie starts taking deep breaths. Chill, be chill, be chill.
I know we don't have a composure check, but I still want you to roll for something. Because this was a fairly extreme circumstance. And to be fair, Eddie's been put in some very strenuous circumstances before, but not killing a friend recently. I feel like for this kind of composure, would you be willing to make me a wisdom saving throw for this? Or is there something better that you have in mind?
Just give me a sec.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Yeah, we just see the otter taking large and deep breaths. And I should specify the ashes of Seer scatter on the ground. Really does make a bit of a mess.
Somebody's got to clean me up.
With 11,
11.
I don't think that is enough to really keep Eddie chill at the moment, especially after killing a friend. I think it's the environment. This room is no longer chill. You've definitely destroyed the integrity of this room.
Uh, I think what would ultimately end up happening is that Eddie would probably, to get out of this room, would like start like moving his way south, but
Hmm.
then
Mavet.
pauses
Yeah. Yeah.
but then
So-
pauses like when he sees like people looking at him, and like second feels a bit self-conscious, and starts turning and going the other way.
yeah, it's like heart palpitations, a bit of sweaty fur. Like your fur is still coated with ash. Um,
Eddie, where are you going?
because Mavet was the first thing that you saw. As you walk away, what is Aluya and Mavet doing?
Still unsure about what went down or if Angry Seer is still on the loose. She's in the corner, still invisible. But she knows that Eddie would be the one to see her.
Okay.
And Mavet, seeing Eddie, would start going towards him, asking him what happened.
Yeah, but he does start to walk away.
Eddie!
I can't be there. Need to chill.
Yeah. Yeah, that sensation. Like, yeah, you probably just want to be left alone, but people aren't leaving you alone. It really is affecting your vibe here. Um, if you want, we can have a little bit of a scene with this Minotaur, buddy. We both know how this is gonna play out. Like, with your absolute control with movement, like, flavor this up for me as there is a Minotaur skeleton in your way.
I'm sorry, was that directed at me? Because I don't currently see a Minotaur.
Oh, I apologize. Should be able to. Why the hell don't you? Huh. You don't see one directly north?
Uh,
Let me bring it
how many
down.
squares are they supposed to be away?
I moved him a little bit closer. He's 15 feet away from you. Visibility.
Oh, okay, sorry, I was expecting a round token.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like, oh, like there's just like a smear in the ground. I'll look at
No.
that a bit.
Yeah, that's why I have been using too many of them. It's just this one, it fits because I specifically wanted a Minotaur skeleton.
In which
But
case, like as Eddie is just like making his way, just like smoky Eddie, like reading the anxiety in the room, just immediately like turns its eyes toward the Minotaur skeleton, and possibly before it could even like raise an axe, suddenly there's just like a bunch of Eddie Blast just exuding out, and tearing this well, I guess not really tearing, but breaking the skeleton apart.
give me a little bit more, and I'll give you some EXP for doing nothing.
Yeah, just like it starts like raising its I'm going to call axe, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's like it starts raising it, then like one of the Eddie blasts like literally like takes one of the arms out. The forearm like just like falling to the ground, and it's like struggling to hold up the axe but still trying to walk toward, and then oh, there goes the other arm. It's, and then like this skeleton suddenly is like looking down at both of its now both of its now like four armless arms, and like maybe starts like lowering its head, and that's when it's really made a mistake because that's when the rest of the blasts come in, and it's about to charge, but then suddenly like the blast just like go back, back, all like slamming into this creature's head before it's finally pushed up against the wall on the opposite side of the room and completely obliterated to like bone fragments.
Give yourself 125 EXP, and only you specifically. But Mavet, Aluya, it is very clear you guys see you see what happened.
From where I am in the corner?
Uh, you could hear it.
Didn't hear the Eddie blast. You probably heard the sound of like bones crashing against a wall somewhere.
Yes.
Pickens. Pickens.
You.
What do you make of everything?
Yeah, you see the bird gets to the junction of the room, looks forward north of the long ass hallway. It goes up the stairs. We see Eddie at the very top of the stairs. Peckins is looking at his back. Then, like, he heard your. No, he didn't, actually. Peckins doesn't know where the fuck you are because he wears earmuffs. He reads lips.
Well, did I hear her? Can I make a perception check for that?
Perception versus stealth.
Pickens, why won't you answer me? Hello?
Muppet rolls a 12. Let me see the stealth check from Aluya. Don't bother putting on a disadvantage. I don't believe it's a movement of your armor. This is just you speaking quietly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mavet, 12 versus 21 stealth. Mavet, you are clueless. In fact, I don't believe you. I think with your perception, Aluya, just explain where you were. Aluya was trapped in the room. There was a PvP between Seer and Eddie, with Peckins watching in the sidelines. So far, the only people that you know are here are Peckins and Eddie is just walking away, like treating Aluya's situation like it was a lost cause. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Eddie, but I don't believe you ever like mentioned it out loud. I believe it was a revelation that you kept to yourself because it was just you versus Seer at the time. Am I correct with that notion?
Yeah, he wasn't trying to let on to not Seer that
Yeah.
they'd failed.
Yeah. So that's your
'Cause
current
otherwise they would
situation,
have
Mavet.
changed tactics.
Yeah. That, like, yeah, Peckins behind you, who is clueless on what's going on, and Eddie storming off. What do you do?
So, what room did they fight in?
Right exactly where you are. It happened between those three rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I've
So,
seen where
I
you've gone
noticed.
off. Hey, hang on. I've seen where you gone off to, Eddie. Don't go too far into it. I'll talk about that in a second. My
All right,
bad.
that's why I stopped
Yeah.
at the doorway. That's
Thank
just
you.
like I
Appreciate
just
it.
went with the place that he
Yep.
most probably would have gone if he's looking for another place to chill that wasn't that room.
All right, my bad. What is your plans here?
So if I see what happened and can kind of pick up details, because I don't see Seer anymore, and I probably saw her go into this room.
Even with a 12 perception check, you do see the ashes on the floor and the scattered remains of cloth from touching the orb to your east. The orb of pure, pure cold, like dry ice.
In that case, I would slowly but tail and follow the Eddie.
Yeah, all the Eddie. Okay. Okay. Aluya, what are you doing? You are left alone with Peckins.
She's gonna scoot up next to Peckins and reappear. Hey, buddy, what the hell? I was talking to you.
Just screams. He scared the shit out of him. Yeah.
Well, since you're not going to tell me, I'm just going to figure it out by myself.
So you appear in front of him. And Peckins, reading your lips, just goes, repeat after me, confused. And you fully appear. What's the other one? It was, dumb bird.
Well,
You don't scare me like that, you dumb bird.
Well, I was talking to you and you said nothing, so here we are. I'm going.
Cocks his head. North? I think Peckins is left in the junction room for a moment. The scene swipe to Eddie. So, Eddie, you are on the northwest section of this dungeon. We see beyond the hallway, beyond the alcove with the fountain of two frogs, water trickling into a basin of water. Beyond that alcove, to the west of this hallway, see an otter open the door, and what greets him is a library with two tables near the east of the room. And to the west, we see rows upon rows of bookshelves, a lot of reading material. In fact, you see papers and books swirling around in the aisles of this library. Upon each of these tables, you do see a bunch of miscellaneous items. Beyond just books, you see quills, inkwells, candles, and even a little desk, a little writing desk with a open scroll with nothing written in it yet. You enter this room. What do you do?
Well, probably immediately recognizing that he's arguably found or at least like one of the most chill rooms to possibly find himself in. It's like immediately like starts uh, going in further.
Yeah, as you go in, We see that there's a magic sigil on the ground. Once your foot makes contact with this magic sigil, we see a pulse go through the entire room. And for a moment, you think you see fire, green fire, will-o-wisps, all sorts of spectral entities. Then in response, from the northwest of this room, you see an electrical shock counter your pulse as everything just disappears. And the room seems as if it's normal. Even the pages halt their flight.
It's like it just pauses. Like you said, the pages halt their flight.
Pages and books, like I mentioned before, in between the aisles, there are books and pages swirling about. Once you
Oh,
entered
okay,
further
I
in the
missed that
room,
part.
yeah. Once you entered further in the room, it seems like that magic halted. And and I really need to specify this, it seemed like there were will-wisps and other types of spectral entities that flickered for a moment before again being erased. Seems like a trap was activated and countered.
I guess that would just be like a like that happened. So it's like there was probably like maybe an adrenaline spike followed by a bit of confusion.
Yeah, it is legitimately like a scene out of the Poltergeist. It's just like a whole bunch of shit just flying about, then stops. Um, Honestly, like it doesn't take too much. It doesn't take too much deductive reasoning to figure out what happened here. The This is a library. It's very close to where Owen is. It seems like that was a man-made trap. It seems like he has control of this domain, and over this particular trap, it doesn't appear that he's forgotten about it. And since you made an alliance with a fucking elder brain, whatever trap that was in here for intruders was deactivated.
Like starts taking like a deep breaths again as he starts like wandering further into the room, just still trying to put some distance.
Hmm.
And I think honestly probably tries to take a seat here.
Yeah, you go to the table on the east side of the room, most north, and we hear the chair squeak slightly. I kind of want to imagine, like, do you even pull the chair, or is it Eddie who's pulling it for you?
Like the smoke pulls the chair, and
Yeah,
then like Eddie sits down.
yeah, slumped. um, Actually, Seer, I want you to roll with me for a second. So, Eddie, as you're sitting down, slumped over, you feel that tingle in your body. You hear that electricity from the north, that low buzzing sound. And I kind of want to imagine. And, Moo, go into your messages for me really quick.
Let me do that right now.
She would not
Okay.
like the extended warranty.
Yeah. So I kind of want to imagine, like, as you're sitting down, we have a side profile of Eddie just looking at the ground, at the stone. And as we're staring at the camera, or at the side profile of Eddie, we see that the background is blurry and we see a flicker of red flame as we see good old. Should do this correctly. It's a passive fucking effect. I apologize. I wanted to time this out a little better. There we go. As we see a visage of Seer in the background, and it doesn't appear like Echo Knight Eddie is reacting to the appearance. In fact, it's again like the static in the back of your head. And I kind of want to imagine we see like Seer's mouth moving, but no words coming out. And then, like, we have a frontal camera shot of Eddie, as behind him, another Seer is just bouncing her head back and forth, and then another one, and another one. Each one filling up a chair around you, saying different things to you. Moo, what would be the kind of things that would be coming out of Seer's mouth as Eddie's reflecting here?
Well, one thing Eddie already knows is that Seer doesn't really insult people. Seer doesn't really badmouth things. Seer just very much says what they feel. They're very honest and very direct. And the thing that makes Eddie a little bit, thinking about Seer is the fact that what was Seer's goals? Why was Seer trying so hard? Because the big thing that I think Eddie blatantly would notice is that Seer really went against the line of her people, in a sense that almost every single kind of person that she found that was like her, she adamantly denied. All because of her goal. So very much the first voice by them would be like, one day I will find that cure to resolve all the things. Make it so that my people can finally be a part of the groups, be a part of everywhere.
And you know what?
As long as I'm alive.
That one has a yellow flame. It's not a pure red flame. That one just woof, yellow. What does the next one say?
And then they kind of will jump to the next one where very much it just goes, I'm very used to being hated, treated like the worst thing imaginable. But often it's nice to feel about people like me, or at least tolerate me. Often
Woof.
enough, I'm tired of being shot to be murdered.
Woof, blue.
And then probably the next voice that Eddie might see that kind of pops up would be kind of just standing before, I would say, in a more of a fury, as they just kind of stare off and being like, I will not take the path of death. I will take the path of righteousness. I will heal the land. I am a person that heals with their hands, not murder.
Woof, white. What does the last one say?
This one is maybe something that Eddie might not be familiar with. Let's put it this way. Even though Eddie acts very, chill, the one thing I could say with confidence is that Eddie very much can read people. Extremely so. even things that maybe the person might not know about themselves. They're really good at understanding how people tick. And this last one surprises Eddie themselves. Is they very much go like, I very much don't know who I am. I very much try to do the things I need to make the world better, and yet I feel like that's not the real thing I want to do.
It's just a dim black. There's no powerful shift. In fact, it's like the last one is dying. And uh, each one of these seers maintain that kind of personality, that kind of train of thought, that kind of continuity. Um, Eddie, these voices are just going on in your head, these reflections. I need to ask, how are you feeling? How does Eddie react to this? How does Echo Knight Eddie react to this?
So I would say Eddie is feeling especially like being like a because I first off he like went into this room to chill about the exact situation that happened like not even minutes ago. It's, and now he's like literally surrounded by a reminder of what he just did. Like and he's feeling it's like so much guilt, especially since he's now what I can best describe is like, like feeling slash seeing slash hearing the innermost most thoughts and aspects of somebody that he considered a friend that he has no idea where they are, if they are even anywhere, if they are just gone. Like he is starting to feel stressed. It's like probably even like even just like reaching for like his reaching for his like a vape pen and trying his best to try to see if he can uh calm himself down.
Okay. Go for your vape pen. Echo Knight Eddie cocks his head. And I think again he's not seeing what you're seeing at this moment. He's not hearing what you're hearing. But you see him just cloaking around you, going around you, trying to assess the damage.
Just taking a deep breath. It's like deep inhale. uh
Yeah. The first deep inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting starts. And the first seer disappears. The one made of yellow. You keep breathing, trying to relax.
Just seeing one disappear. Just like, well, this seems like a solution. As he takes another inhale.
Yeah. Taking a breath. The one behind you, blue seer, disappears.
It's a third one.
The seer, made of pure white, disappears. Finally, there's just the one in all black, a smoldering ember. That's just counter to you. I think for this one particular, Moo, what does she say?
The final thing they'll say that might hit Eddie a little bit harder is to go like, even I don't know what I want, or even if I remember clearly. Maybe there's a chance that I'll find it. Maybe not a high one. But I think whatever forces I find might help me.
I don't mean to put words into your mouth, Seer, but I would like to add one tiny thing at the end of that, considering the avenue you took with this one in particular. But in the end, anyone miss me? Will anyone remember me? You take that.
Well, actually, I was about to end with that.
No
You
shit.
read my mind!
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
No, you're good. I was kind of laughing, go like, oh, cool. At least Gray and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah. I'm sorry, if you may say it for me.
Ultimately, they would basically be like, it's like that brimmer of hope that you hear them say that, and then it kind of just dims finally as they just simply go like, very unlikely, since like many of my people, like many of the things I existed in, and many of the things I've encountered, they tend to get forgotten.
Excellent. And Seer disappears if Eddie takes that long breath.
Like, I think he pauses on that last one before. It's like I think he starts like crying a little bit and just says, "I'm sorry, little dude." And he takes that last inhale.
She's gone. And it's that sense of deja vu, Eddie. You've never felt this motion before. You've never been in this position before, but it feels like you had multiple times. You filed it all away. Is there any finishing notes that you'd like to have on this, Eddie, before the rest of the party joins you in this library?
I think it's like he's kind of like gripping his chest a bit and just like whispers. Think, yeah, like whispers under his breath. Why does it hurt so much?
Very good. give yourself, both of you, give yourself 50 EXP for that. That was pretty good. Luya, my bad. Time's caught up. I kind of want to imagine, my bad, if you don't mind, that you were slow with the walk up, and Aluya showed herself. What was happening out here? Like, did Aluya just brush past Mavet? Like, what was happening?
She'll be like, excuse me, my vet. Way to show up now. But alright. Let me pass. Thank you.
Yeah. Mavet, what do you do?
So seeing how she talks to me, I would just scoff at her and like make a very, of course,
Well-
typical of your kind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, keep in mind your indefinite insanity. I hope that you wrote down.
I'm still insane.
Yeah. What was your insanity once more? Remind the audience.
Indefinite insanity.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you already looked at it. That's how you're RPing, right? Because you had it in the back of your head when you were doing this. Taking an
She just
awful long
ignores
time.
what he says
Yeah.
and just moves out.
Yeah, Autobots move out. You start going north. You reach the secret room that Mavet discovered oh so long ago. And you hear the buzzing of electricity. Do you enter?
Yeah, the door is here behind me?
To the north is straight north. It looks like a wall. Just because it's secret. Like, you can keep going north and north.
Got it.
Yeah. Like, let's say, going from the end of the carpet to the stone would bring you to the new room, if you so desire. Yeah, you walk into there. You hear that buzzing of electricity is oh so loud. And you see implements on a table. It looks like embalming equipment as the first thing that greets your eyes. A crescent shaped table. To the straight north, you see a shelf filled with tools such as axes, drills, shear cutters, hammers, all sorts of equipment. To your left, you see 4 sarcophagi, black stone, connected by a brass tube in the center of the room, with a current of visible electricity connecting all of them. It looks extremely dangerous, but you see that current going here and there. What do you do, Aluya?
I have no interest in this. I just want to know where Eddie is.
Yeah. Eddie is to the west. But just to quickly fill in the gaps there, Owen did mention something was keeping him alive. But yes, the door to the west would lead you to Eddie.
She wouldn't have put that together.
What was that?
I said she wouldn't have put that together.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Then for the audience, there's a full-on fucking room with 4 sarcophagi. But yes, to your west would lead you to the library. But synchronizing our times here, you both walk in, clear as day. You see Eddie on a chair. What do you guys do?
Eddie,
Mhm.
are you alright? Where is Seer?
Uh, Eddie starts at that mention, just like starts gripping his chest again.
Think
Are you in pain? Do you need me to heal you?
I think Eddie at that moment, seeing that Eddie got hurt, is interposing himself between Aluya and Eddie. So we see the smoke flicker as it moves in between you two.
Smoky Eddie, I just want to check on Eddie. Uh, Do you mind? Are you alright, Eddie? Also, again, where is Seer? What happened to her? Was she like possessed? Where'd she go?
Like he again at the mention, just like asking that same question. Just like starts gripping his chest tighter,
Yeah.
like trying to relax but just can't.
Nope.
Mother, did
Oh.
you see anything?
I'm guessing the hero here killed the stupid sap sipper.
Pardon? What happened? What? What? And why did you say it like that?
Oh yeah, but you're allowed to just move me out of the way with being all crazy, trying to get all fast to here. You know there was a door right next to us.
Slow your roll, homie. You want to talk your crap right now, but you didn't do shit for I don't know how long. You kind of were like staring blankly at the wall. I mean, we really could have used your help with like the tree plant man, and you said nothing. And then stuff went off with Seer, and you still did nothing. So shush. Something is happening. Smoky Eddie? To where Seer is, or what?
Sorry, I was waiting to see if like Mavet had like a response to that, or
Yeah.
I did. I just had a sneezing fit. Sorry
What?
about that.
I actually want to hear the response, Bobette. No, she just pushed you aside, making you feel insignificant. Not to
Oh, so
derail
you
things
tell
here.
me to slow my roll. Meanwhile, Eddie's over here just slaying our friends right in front of everyone. You don't stop it.
Why do you keep saying he's slaying our friends?
Do you see his fur? It's covered in her ash.
I mean, could have been hit by a fireball or something. Eddie, right?
like God.
Yeah, on the spot.
This very interesting line of conversation, like Eddie just starts crying.
Yeah, yeah, like
Oh, see,
even
now there you go, making him cry. Typical
hey,
sap sipper.
like even looking down at your vape pen is covered in soot.
No, that did not happen. No,
Why
no.
don't you ask the big old hero himself?
I need you to shut the fuck up. That's what I need you to do.
Why don't you make me?
Oh
Maybe you're
fuck.
the other one.
Other one, what, man? You're like losing me here.
I've seen how you all have been looking at me. I figured it was just Seer. Are you on her side too?
Look, why don't you go stare at the mirror or something some more and let me deal with this?
Just make it stop.
What, like how
Make
you
it go
made
away.
Seer's heart stop?
Just like at the grade the DM, just like Eddie, doesn't know how to interpret that order.
What books are on this shelf? Right north of me.
I'll explain in a second. I want to see this resolution first. Eddie, how does Eddie interpret that order?
Like I think like maybe Eddie like in the middle is just just uh like stop, make it all stop, make it stop hurting.
Hmm.
So
I
it's true. She's gone.
I think if I haven't said it before, I'm gonna clarify it right now. Oh no, Nita, your ass is staying right in this room for this. So, again, as you hear him just say, let it stop, let it stop, we hear the bickering between Aluya and Mavet. It's getting to the point where Mavet is going to the bookshelf, grabbing a book. It looks like Seer is about to do something herself. And, like, in between this turmoil, this, funnily enough, this eddy of a situation, we just see him looking down, hands on the head, and Echo Knight Eddie formed as a shadowy reflection of this otter, takes on the form of this otter, is standing before Eddie. And I think, just like before, see Eddie coming up closer and closer. Okay. If memory serves me right, last time we did this, it was flavored like an inhale, correct?
Yes.
And I believe the only time we did a check or a saving throw was you deciding to do this. Am I correct with that as well?
Uh, rethinking back for a moment.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think because how I think because of because I think ultimately it would boil down to the nature of the relationship ultimately decided whether there was a save or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'll leave it up to your discretion with this. If you would like to make a save or a skill check considering the person in question.
Mm. I think there would be a save,
Mm.
but I think also the line of the conversation around him would probably
Yeah.
have turned it into a disadvantage.
Yeah, but I would like to raise the stakes with this one. We got a web of lies going on right now. There's a lot of things tangled up. I'm going to say if you succeed, things are going to start falling apart. You are going to start remembering things that you really shouldn't remember. But yes, we'll make this save at disadvantage. And I believe last time it was a wisdom saving throw? Or did we do intelligence?
I think it was. Oh, I think it was wisdom.
That's what I thought as well. Wisdom saving throw at disadvantage. And let's keep things nice and simple, considering the circumstances and the environment around you. I originally wanted it to be like a 15, but I'm thinking with how close you were to this person, that it's a bit discouraging to want this to happen. So I think I might drop it by one, say DC 14. Like, that's a nice, safe one with a disadvantage. Does that sound appropriate to you? Would you like to raise it higher, bring it lower?
No, that's fine.
Okay. That'll be our benchmark here. So wisdom saving throw, disadvantage. Wow! Alright. How does this house of cards fall, Eddie? You have the floor.
Jesus Christ.
Um,
I
be-
was not expecting to make this save.
Yeah,
honestly.
Before you get too into detail, I really do want to set up the scene here. Mavet, Aluya, for the favor of roleplay, how do you guys escalate the situation? How is the environment getting really haywire? How's your argument becoming more serious?
I wouldn't escalate it. He's not an issue for me. I want my answers. Of where's Seer? What's going on with Eddie? He just needs to stay silent.
Okay. Then I guess I'll leave it towards Mavet. How would you aggravate this situation?
So what book do I find?
Okay. We'll say like this is a wizard's library. And this one in particular should just have a general researching studies. So I think this one in particular is on duplicity. It's all about magic and conjuration. Conjuration mixed with transmutation, about duplicity. Mirroring yourself, becoming something more or becoming something less, tricking people.
Above Table, that actually sounds like a pretty good book to read.
Yeah, it does. So
yeah, Mavet's gonna take that book and go straight to the nearest wall-fire cone and set it on fire.
Yeah, I think to the south, right here. So we have Aluya to the north, Avet to the south, burning book in hand. Give me one more action here. Like, Aluya, you're seeing that he's starting a fire with this book. Mavet, what are you doing here?
You want to know what happened to Seer? I take the book, I burn it, and as it turns to ash, I start covering myself. Like, see, this is what happened.
Yeah, there we go. That's it, Eddie. That's the scene before you. That's what triggers you. That's what makes this house of cards fall. Is just seeing someone aggravate, basically poking and prodding at you and literally making a mockery of your friend's death here. You have the floor. What do you do, Eddie? Explain the process and how this all falls apart.
Like, there is a part of Eddie's mind that is starting to, like a fog over, just like so many times before, like the visage, or not the literal flame of Seer, like, like a trying to be covered up, but it's almost as though it's like it's too poor now. It's like to the degree that that flame, like the smoke tries to smother it out, but the flame like starts to brighten, and then it starts getting brighter and brighter, and suddenly like this smoke starts being cleared away by the light of this flame that Eddie has associated with Seer, and suddenly the various corners of his mind start becoming brightened and cleared, but it is not, like a peaceful clear. As the smoke clears, like Eddie is confronted with a number of faces, or more accurately, the faces that he saw of them last. It's like, and the smoke is like clearing a bunch of the ugliest parts of his mind that had been covered up until this moment. So it's like but then probably the face that gets to him the most is the one of a sea elf boy just moments before he was gone. Going up his own words in his mind. I'm sorry. It's like cutting back to Eddie in the actual library. It's like a he suddenly like stops. What? Oh, that can't be right.
I I think Echo Knight Eddie. Its yellow gleaming eyes burn brighter, and we see the bookshelf to its left, to the west side of this room, begin to scatter the books from the pressure, the difference in air, the sudden burst as it attempts to fix you. It's trying better, like a medic with a dying patient. And you see it shaking its head, and it is trying to grab at you.
I I did that.
Shaking its head, shaking its head, shaking its head.
Why did I do it? I know why I did it.
Mm.
How long, Eddie? He actually like gets up from his chair and starts looking at him. How long?
The, the nose, the mouth, the ears, it tries to enter you, and it bounces off. It keeps trying and trying and trying and trying, and stops. Won't even look at you. Its eyes is at the table, avoiding your gaze.
At me, Eddie. More than just my bra. Basically, my brother. There's so much of me that just
kind of want to imagine, much like the scene with Seer. We see like multiple eddies begin to form. Unlike Seer, it's not creating new words. It's not. It's not going on new ideas. It is repeating the same phrase. We see another Echo Knight Eddie behind Eddie, glowing yellow eyes, as it just says in Eddie's voice, the otter Eddie, "Make it go away." And then another one in the chair across from it on the table, "Eddie, make it stop." And then another one appears on another open chair, "Eddie, make it go away." And then another Eddie forms, "Eddie, make it stop." And again, it looks like your main Echo Knight Eddie, the one that you're talking to, looking at, is shaking its head, wiping its hand away, and we see one after another, it's trying to smolder these resurfacing thoughts, these reflections, these buried secrets. It's trying to smolder it away, do damage control. It is trying its best to mute the symphony.
I think I think actually in this moment, Eddie reaches some clarity. And like a bit gently, like, like putting his hand on the shoulder of Smoky Eddie.
It makes eye contact with you. It's like staring at the abyss. It's no longer a comfortable darkness. It is more of, yeah, it is the fear of the unknown. See deep within. And it stares back.
Like Eddie says, "Okay, I think I understand."
As you say, sorry, go right ahead. Go ahead.
Actually, you can continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as you say, I understand, like the books near you begin to turn to ash as they unintentionally get burned from Eddie. Go on.
You were just doing what you always did, protecting me, right?
See, we see a side profile of this. otter having the hand on the Echo Knight otter. We're seeing it from the perspective of the Isle, and I think we're focused on even more books as they begin to dissolve into ash as this radius is expanding. Struggling to look at you. It's maintaining eye contact, but it wants to look away.
There's some things that I need to deal with myself, okay?
Eddie never fails. He never fails. And it's just becoming hotter in here. Seeing the smoke begin to kick up. It is not from the body of Echo Knight Eddie. It is from all the books that are beginning to be pushed away and burned and kicked up into the room. It is getting harder and harder to see, to breathe. It is uncomfortable. It is painful. And most of all, just feel that deep set emotion, that mix of disappointment and hatred. It's not directed at you, it's directed at itself for its inability to fix you.
Like, I think at this moment, like, Eddie actually takes his hand off the shoulder and instead wraps his arms around Eddie. It's okay. You can stop.
It's just. Yeah. Luya. Mavet, make me a dexterity saving throw. Mavet with 14. It is like white noise, Eddie. It's hard to hear anyone, anything besides pure, unadulterated silence, the ringing of your ears. And you hear through that static a heartbeat. Bump 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 bump, and with each beat of that heart, you swear to God, it's your own rhythm, it's your own heartbeat, it is you being scared, but standing up for what you truly believe, trying to chill, to cool down. And with each heartbeat, you see an explosion reflect off in this room from Echo Knight Eddie, receiving your heartbeat and just exploding. Each and every time we see books and pages fly, we see ash scatter about, and again, just like before, deep breaths, Eddie. Bum 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 bum. Explosions get smaller and smaller. Bum 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 bum. Until there is No ash left, no books nearby that it can burn. It's done. It failed. And it can't bear to look at you. But your heartbeat, it is its lifeline. It sees that you're okay. And it stops. If I may, Eddie, and you can stop me with this. I kinda wanna imagine, for now, after what you've done, we see Eddie dissipate. Is that alright to say?
I would say,
You can stop me if it's a step too far.
like it would probably make sense for Smoky Eddie to want to go someplace else and reflect.
Yeah. And I think, much like Eddie needs alone time and needs to chill. And we see Eddie disappear. I'm gonna take him off the board. Okay, we're done with that. Aluya, Mavet, bullet time's over. There is a mess of a room. There's a shit ton of ash. A lot of the books got burnt. And what does Eddie look like at the moment? How's he standing? What's his overall attitude?
So, well, he's obviously covered in ash right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
but like like as the Smoky Eddie that he was hugging, dissipated, and he starts to like compose himself, like maybe even uh fix his hair a bit, like running his hands through. He takes a deep breath. "Right, let's deal with this." And he starts walking over to Mavet.
Okay. Mavet, Eddie is walking towards you. Aluya, you are seeing Eddie walk away. I want to hear both your reactions as he begins his gait.
I feel like he would go to say something, but we'll close up. You know, everything is like working in her mind slower than other people, but it's getting there about what's happening, and she's trying to process it herself, and she understands that Eddie is kind of in it and working through it too on a higher level.
Yeah, it like the first thing that comes to your mind is a literal battle with your demons. That is quite fitting what just unfolded before you. Now, granted, you can't catch all the nuances, but you got the general gist. Um, just to explain the dexterity saving throw, that was just from the force alone pushing you away, but you stood your ground. Mavet, you see an otter coming towards you, and he seems different.
Mavet is lost in thought, rubbing the ashes all into his skin.
Eddie, what do? You see this person essentially mocking you.
Eddie is going to walk over and Mostly because due to the unique circumstances of their relationship,
Yep.
Eddie is going to walk over to Mavet and he is going to put a hand to Mavet's head.
Hmm.
Now, it's like I'm going to ask this: like, does Eddie feel connected?
Hmm. Did did you guys share mushrooms before? Just out of curiosity.
He was the one person who didn't partake in mushrooms, but most notably, though, the reason why I asked this is because their connection is fundamentally different.
Yes. Um. Yeah, I see where you're going with this. Um. And excuse me, Mavet, for speaking into you, speaking before you, but I see what he's laying down here. With the connection to Eddie. Uh, Strangely enough, Eddie, there is no connection. He is not a part of your nexus.
Uh, Eddie is going to take a deep breath and sigh, which is a sigh of mixed emotions.
Mavet, you still being weird? Rubbing in ash as a person touches your head?
Are you here to help? I'm
Uh,
around the back.
Eddie is just going to close his eyes, take one more deep breath, open them, like before saying, "You have exactly 6 seconds to disappear before I completely obliterate you."
Let me get that timer out. All right, Mavet. I'm gauging it by how you speak. And I will tell you when 6 seconds are done.
Okay, let me get some thought into
Yeah,
this.
no, that's perfectly fine. This is bullet time. I'm not going to judge this by you picking your words carefully.
What are you gonna do? Put me in your vape pen like you did Sear and smoke me?
3 seconds.
Would that get you the high you're chasing? Or was she not enough for you?
5 seconds.
I'd like to see you try.
6 seconds.
Now, the real question is does Eddie still have access to his abilities?
Um, God, that's a real tough one. Um, would you like to leave it up to a little flat roll, no modifiers? Or would you prefer like a little bit more thought than chance?
So I want to put an input on this because if this is gonna happen, like what happened with Sear, I want to give Eddie the advantage if this would work with his lore of the Nexus. He
Mm-hmm.
can end me. If he's, I would assume if he steals my smoke back, which is
Mm-hmm.
rebirthed me.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like a? I believe Eddie has already figured something out, and that's not a factor.
Yeah.
Uh, but I would think that I would say that at the very least, uh, I think the one that would make the most sense is that he doesn't have access to his Echo Knight abilities.
Yeah.
It's like, but he
Yeah.
still has like uh, an inherent power that's still designed to protect him.
Mm. Yeah.
It's just like now Eddie is going to be taking a more direct approach.
Okay.
When I say direct, I mean
Yeah.
that he's less passive.
Yes. If I may, I'm gonna establish a couple things here. I don't want to spend the rest of this session in a PvP manner, so
Uh-huh.
I would like for like a quick back and forth here. I trust the both of you to make this entertaining and visually interesting. We can there's a couple different routes that we can take here. We could just do a skill challenge back and forth. A couple contests is another option. Or we could do this a one and done fashion where resources get consumed on both ends and we settle it with one maneuver, one roll. It's up to the peanut gallery on this one. What would you prefer? But I would like something different this time. I'm open to suggestions.
I mean, like if I really wanted to, it's
Hmm.
because like I think like the one way that we could probably do this is that like and be sincere when you say this, Malvet. It's like, do you actually think you would win against Eddie?
Considering you just fought Seer, if Aluya joined in, I don't think I could. But with you being so close, I do think I can.
Hmm.
But because, like I said prior and stuff, you giving birth to me, I wanted to give you some innate advantage that maybe Gray doesn't want to give. Like that you could literally suck my smoke back into your vape pen and like kill me.
I I will say, Mavet, I am going to lean towards Eddie on this one, in that this situation is slightly different. And I will explain, I will go in detail what is happening once everything is said and done. But just don't consider that a
Okay, but
factor.
if I can possibly like
Yeah.
lower your confidence, uh,
Yeah.
like the first with like like the six after the 6 seconds, the entire room fills with smoke,
Mm.
meaning that any physical advantage that you had was immediately like dissipated,
Yeah, with the
and
fog cloud. Yeah.
and it would essentially become a game of maybe you hit Eddie and then Eddie just hits you.
Yeah, because I
Don't
don't
worry,
think.
this will all make sense in a moment,
Yeah.
but I'm just like putting forward that if we wanted to like do this in a way that doesn't involve a player versus player PvP,
Yeah.
like that would like extend for like the rest of the session, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I could probably uh like maybe at most like burn one fog cloud and maybe a couple shields.
Okay. I'm willing to. I'm willing to accept that as a yeah, good resource depletion for that. Um, for my vet, just we're gonna go over like analysis of the battle here. Considering the fact that during this combat you would have a disadvantage, what kind of resources would you use on your end? What would you use? Is there anything you could do to equal out the odds here?
Well, I think it would all depend on if he got his fog cloud out first or if I get the first strike because I would be using like stunning strike
Okay.
on him
Yep.
to make sure I can grapple and restrain him and
Okay.
then just try to keep a hold on him while pounding on him.
Well, the only
It.
reason why oh,
Okay. No. If the dependency is on who's acting first, um, here's what I would allow.
thing
I
is that
would.
like the only reason why I'm gonna briefly cut in is
Yeah.
because Eddie gave him 6 seconds, and he
Yes.
used those 6 seconds to speak.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I just didn't
That's
know
fair.
how to adjudicate it. Your thoughts, Mavet?
I think that's fair. I think how we could solve it is since Eddie has the advantage and stuff, we can settle this through skill rolls, and it'd be best to X number, and he has X more than me, and I start at 0.
Okay.
Does that sound workable, Mega?
Yeah, but that implies that that Malvet had a chance.
Jesus.
Well, there's always the dumb luck from the rolls.
Mm.
I mean, if I'm gonna see this pop off, I'm gonna haste Eddie.
Yeah, so it'd be assistance from Aluya as well. Um,
Well, will she see it?
no, yeah, she couldn't be able to see. You can't use haste and fog cloud. Um, okay.
He would only agree to it if Eddie would be allowed to use charisma for all his roles.
There you go. Does that sound acceptable, Mavet?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm a gambling man.
Okay. Um, I'm thinking, if you guys don't mind, this is going to require a little bit of setup from my end. We agreed how we want to settle this. Let's take a 15-minute break here, and once we're back, I'll have a clear idea of what we're doing and re-emphasize the rules going on here. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll just take a quick break here then. All right, and we're back. All right, so just to explain to the audience what's going on here. We're gonna have a sequence of 7 rolls, ability score rolls, I should say, or ability checks. And so far, the modifier for Eddie's end is +5 and +3 for a total of +8 to his rolls. Bonuses alone from using fog cloud to set up the environment and using shield consistently throughout the challenge. For Mavet, being in the fog cloud, he's going to have a -5 penalties to his rolls. As the current static, we'll adjust things on the fly as things progress here. Now, we ironed out a lot of the details here, but let's hear how this combat starts. I want a charisma roll from Eddie, and I want a wisdom roll from Mavet.
Actually, one thing for clarity.
Yes. Right up.
It's a +8 for each roll regardless, or is it or is it +5 at first, and if I decide to add +3?
Yes. We'll go with that because it is a reactive spell. So +5 for your rolls. You can add the +3 as you see fit because that's how shield would work in combat, regardless. So you got
we're
that.
doing ability checks, not saving throws.
Ability checks, yes.
Oh, we.
Mm-hmm. So just keep your mouse hovered over your score, and we'll keep things going here. Okay. It's 11 for the first roll from Mavet. Hang on, we need to take that penalty out. That would be 10. 10 versus
no, it'd be a 6.
What was that?
It would be a 6 versus 23.
Yes.
Oh no, I already added the +5 to it. Because remember, you can add the modifier like before you click the button.
But I see where you're talking about, Mavet. Yes. Because of that, it would be 6. For yours, Eddie, that is a straight out fucking 17. Let me hear the blow by blow here. Eddie, you're on the offensive. What do you do to Mavet?
This is again, as the smoke starts to envelop the room, it's funny enough, I think the first thing that Eddie makes sure to do, and probably this is why he somewhat gets the drop, is that he moves way more quickly than he has arguably in the entire campaign that anyone's ever seen him, as he immediately closes the door near to Mavet. It's before then almost in the same fluid motion, hurling a bunch of Eddie blasts Mavet away from the door. So it's just a 1-2 run to the door, slam it, and then suddenly there's a huge a smoky blast coming up Mavet, pushing him further down the aisles in the library.
Okay, let's assume both hit, and that'd be 20 feet back. It looks like he moved the correct amount. All right. And where would Eddie be after that? Right in front of the door. Okay. So just for the audience, go right.
He's standing by that door, and actually, I think he would specifically stand here, just to get a good sense if Mavet starts to approach again.
Okay, so just to explain the visual here, Eddie is to the south of the first table and 5 feet away from the door, and Mavet got blasted down an aisle of the library. We see books crumbling upon him. Mavet, what was your flavor for that exchange? Be a little wild, be a little crazy. What's some crazy shit that?
I'd love to see Eddie thinking he's got the upper hand. I take the hits with stride as I'm laughing. I can't see where he's coming from, but I have a general idea because of the way I was pushed, and I know how he has used this before. So,
Factual.
even though I lost my old self of being angry all the time, you see more like, if I could bring it to fourth wall breaking, kind of like ultra ego
Yep.
form Mavet starts to try to emulate.
Okay. Yeah, we see you begin to stand up. Do your astral arms come out?
That they do, and as they come out, they do a large stretch and then cross all four arms.
What's the usual flavor for your arms?
They come out smoky.
No, they don't. They look like glass. All right. The first exchange is over, and we're moving on to the second one. Eddie has one for this one. Let's see the next roll, boys. Tell me what you guys get. I'm just typing in something here.
Eddie won the next one.
What was the difference? Or I shouldn't say difference. What was each person's score?
Like Eddie has a total of 13.
That has a 2.
Jesus, my man. Alright. Yeah. My vet has a 2. Again, let's see the exchange this time. Let's make things interesting. With each little exchange, something changes, something drastic happens. Eddie, I want to see these bookshelves fall. What happens?
Oh, don't worry.
Yep.
It's like that's actually what I was gonna have fun with over here. It's
Yeah,
like as now, like since like Malvet seems to be like distracted. It's like about by where he probably is. Eddie has like started like moving over and like and like immediately starts like running down like this other aisle, and like like as he like as he starts like going further down the adjacent aisle, just like the minute that he is able to like sense Mavet, just like he immediately lets out a particularly like a more powerful incinerating blast as he uses Firebolt and like begins to like set flame to like this particular like a bookshelf, and then knocks it over.
Okay.
Like on top of Mavet. So that essentially a burning bookcase has fallen on top of him.
Mavet, a burning bookcase falls on you. Give me your flavor.
As it crashes down on my hand, the glass arms try to block it, but some of the books fall onto my face as my other arms go to cover it, and I get all mismatched. And all the fiery books are falling on my face, and I just start punching the bookshelf so it doesn't knock me prone.
Yeah. So I kind of want to imagine like a ash falling onto your face from the instant eradication of these books. But yes, we see like a bunch of punches coming out from these glass arms as we see books begin to fly like fireworks. Yeah, because they're on fire. And wood shrapnel begins to burst and get destroyed. Let's see the third check, boys. Is that of 5 victories to win, 7 sequence rolls.
So I had a question,
Go right
because Eddie, my idea was to either lower one of my negatives or boost or lower one of his positives by using a spell, since he used the spell.
Okay, what would you like to do?
I was
Keep
trying
in
to.
mind, read the spell descriptions. Make sure that you don't require yourself to see a target, because that's the important
Right.
line of text.
It's entangle. It's on a 20-foot area to try to restrain.
Oh,
All right. Then Eddie would actually be able to counter that.
okay. What would be the
It's
counter?
he would be using Misty Step.
Okay, Misty Step. Got you. Okay, so that's
So that would nullify.
yeah. It brings us back to a score one. Both of you spend spell slots. Let me see that roll, and that's good. I want you guys to keep doing shit like that, because that's just outside of our expenditure. Both of you take off one spell slot. Readjust yourself where you see fit, and let's see the next rolls. Eddie's is 14. My vet is holy shit. A natural
Nat
20.
20.
Yep. At 20. Yep. Straight roll. Okay, we see a shift in the battle. This time Mavet. You do the entangle, Eddie, Misty Steps. Before you actually go on, I think Eddie's position in this case is important. Where would you actually Misty Step?
I think he would probably have Misty Stepped. Makes most sense to Misty Step over here.
Okay.
Over on the other side of Mavet in the bookcase situation.
Yeah, just to clarify for the audience, there was a bookshelf separating Eddie and Mavet, and Eddie is now on the same aisle as Mavet to his left, to the west of the map. All right, we know where your position is now, Mavet. Keeping in mind that you're blinded, the smoke is thick, you're having trouble seeing where Eddie is. Flavor this up for me. Do something wild, something crazy. How are you trying to get the upper hand here? Go fucking
Well,
nuts.
having my extra pair of arms,
Yep.
Mavet and his crazy phase is flailing all about like a raging from Mortal Kombat Goron. All his arms flailing and about. So I feel with this success on my part, I was able to, one of them happened to make contact with something that budged and then it just stands still like a bookshelf.
Yep.
So I feel that's Eddie.
Okay. So, all right. Got it.
As a big grin goes over Mavet's face.
Okay. All right. First 1 to 5. We got 2 for Eddie, 1 for Mavet. Let's see the next pair of rolls. You know what? Before I even start asking for rolls, I should probably start asking before the roll. Again, don't guys, just don't go fucking crazy with it. Don't go over all your fucking actions. One thing, what is or either one of you doing one thing to try to tilt things into your favor, doing something different, consuming resources. That's the important part for me. Are either one of you consuming resources before this roll?
So I don't think on this particular roll.
Mavet.
On this particular roll,
He is going to kill you. That's... Okay, so I'm hearing no from both ends. All right. Eddie, ability check. Mavet, ability check. Let's see it. Charisma versus wisdom. Okay. No, that's okay. Yeah, 14. Thank you. Wow. 14. Yeah, that'd be a tie.
And
I
then
assume.
Eddie would boost it.
Okay, boosting it with shield. Okay, let's hear the play-by-play. If you don't mind, Eddie, I actually want to see how Mavet's getting the advantage on this and how you shift things into your favor. So Mavet, how you
That makes more
pressing the
sense.
assault? Yeah, how you pressing the assault, Mavet?
So, feeling that I feel like I made contact with Eddie, I take my other astral arm and try to swing it to make contact with my original one that hit Eddie.
Yep. Okay. So essentially, you were just like really going ham on it, like much like a MMA fighter who's got someone like prone on the ground, swinging back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yep.
Okay. So Eddie, you just have this constant assault, left, right, left, right, left, right. What are you doing to shift things in your favor here?
I think in this moment and like how I'm going to be incorporating the shield in this case,
Yep.
is that like Eddie's actually able to use the smoke in the environment to create, well, not create, but basically mold it together into something like vaguely Eddie shaped, and once again like using misdirection
Yep.
to so like now Malvet is now pounding on this solid question mark like smoke eddy while he diverts from behind and then again just blast him from behind to bash him against the wall on the other side of the library, the western side.
There you go. Absolutely.
Now, hear me
Yeah.
out here.
Yes, sir.
Just because, Eddie has such a big advantage,
Yeah.
I want to say, just because of the nature of the shield spell, and Eddie, you could refute this if you don't think it's fair, but because I succeeded on that and you had to use the shield spell, I feel that would just negate one of us gaining a point. Because it was due to the shield spell, which is the +3.
I mean, then
And
what
just
would be
because
the
of
point
nature
of
shield.
me even having the bonus to begin with?
But Blanca's success.
Then this session would also go on forever.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Then why would I even use the shield spell? Because then it would just make this thing go on possibly longer.
Yeah, the main reason why we're streamlining it like this is because again, I do not want to spend too much time onto this, and it is resource consumption, which is the same benefit I would grant you when you use your resources. That aside, that is 3 victories to Eddie, 1 to Mavet. Again, we're 2 away from Eddie succeeding. There could be a second wind here. Or quite literally from Eddie using second wind, that aside. Are either one of you...
That would be a funny joke.
Shut the hell up. So, are either one of you using up resources before we make a roll?
Bu- bu- bu. I actually think in this case, to make things harder, it's Eddie would actually kind of wait not wait. Yeah, actually, yeah. Since we're not really following actual combat rules here, it's Eddie is actually going to provide himself with the benefits of sanctuary.
Okay. It's perfectly fine.
And essentially kind of wait him out, and then I'll explain how that works out depending on how the roll results, but that's what he's going to be using.
Okay. Mavet, what would you be using any resources?
I would be using enlarge reduce to increase my size, so I feel like I have a larger chance of running into Eddie.
Okay. Um. Okay. Let's figure out how both these spells would function here. It sounds like you have a pretty good idea of how yours would function, Eddie. Please, like, enlighten me how you think Sanctuary would work in this situation. Um, or at least remind me about the spell description, because I have a vague idea,
I mean,
but
like,
I just want to be certain.
essentially, if he either wants to like make a hit on Eddie, he would actually need to make a Wisdom saving throw first.
Okay.
Um, it's, but like, I kind of like I'm imagining like how Eddie would like actually try to like employ it in this particular round is
Yeah.
that like since there is still actually like a burning bookcase, it's like he's actually going to see if like he can like goad um goad Mavet into coming toward him again, and then like in the last moment he's going to try and trip him over
Okay.
into the burning bookcase.
Okay. um.
He's taking full advantage of the fact that he's facing a tree man.
Okay. All right. God. Okay. First, let me look at enlarge reduce here. See how that factors in. And what was the length of time for Sanctuary? It was a full minute.
It or until I make an attack roll.
Okay.
I mean, like actually, I think it also includes ability checks, so it's like that's why I'm air quote waiting.
Yes.
It's like or like deferring my turn until Mavet comes for me, and then like
Okay.
while the Sanctuary is kind of like holding him off, that's the moment I take advantage of.
Okay.
That's how I'm envisioning how Sanctuary would work in this case. Since
Yeah. Well,
again,
hang on.
attack rolls are
Towards
actually being made.
towards enlarge reduce. You still need to see the creature, buddy.
I can see myself.
Can you see yourself?
Or, well, can't I? I feel self spells. You should cast them on if you can feel yourself.
Yeah, but the target isn't a self spell. It's just a target that you see within range.
Remind me, is enlarge reduce a touch spell?
It
have it in
is a
front of me.
creature that you see within range. Not seeing anything to do with
Okay, so
touch.
it's not a situation of like you touch it.
Yeah.
You know what? I guess it wouldn't make sense for it to be a touch spell.
Yeah.
It's like if it were a touch spell, I think I would have argued in Mavet's favor.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess I can't do that.
Towards the sanctuary, and because things are a little loosey-goosey with time at the moment, would you be all right with sanctuary only affecting this check alone, or are you going to
like I said, like I just like briefly like went over and looked at it. It's like yeah, if I guess if I want to get really technical, you know, like that kind of trip would be like something close to like a shove, and that's a type of attack.
Yes.
So I believe that would break sanctuary regardless.
Okay. All right. Okay, we've been going back and forth for a while. What's the affirmative action from both sides here? Just make sure I'm clear. Sorry, I just got out of the weeds.
Like essentially Eddie is laying in wait with sanctuary until Mavet is caught off guard, and then like trying to like trip him into the burning bookcase while the sanctuary has like put him off his balance essentially.
Okay. And Mavet, are you using any resources?
No, there doesn't seem to be like any I could use because I can't see myself.
Okay. So let's settle this with a wisdom saving throw from Mavet first. And just to make this perfectly clear, that would be failure. I wanted to quickly outline that it would result in a automatic loss because you can't attack him. You can't press on the assault, and he is taking that away from you. But he's not going to be. Sorry, I heard myself for a second. You're not going to be able to press the assault, and he's not going to be able to do it beyond this check alone. Are there any objections from your end? Any any arguments for your side, Mabet, before we move on?
Not with a roll of a 2.
Yeah. Again, I'm trying my best to be fair. This is one of the reasons why I'm not particularly fond with PvP. But yes. Eddie, I'll consider that one a victory in your favor, but just for now, because it's going to be a final victory, I would like to see other spells besides Sanctuary for this final couple rolls here.
Don't be giving it to him yet. There can be still 4 victories on my side.
There could be, but that I'm just gonna disallow Sanctuary just for the rest of it because it is I consider it an automatic victory with circumstances. All right, my God, sorry, I'm just getting a bit of a headache here. And possibly fine. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I was just saying you're welcome.
Yeah, no problems. Possibly the final roll here. Any more resource consumption?
I'll use my Visage of Astral Self
What
to
does
spend
that
a key
do?
point.
Yep. What does that?
Nothing that will benefit me, just flavor.
Okay, I like it. You know what? I'll give you a +1. It was how many key points is that?
It's 1 key point.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1 onto your roll. How's that sound? Somehow,
So I have
some
a
way.
-4.
Yeah, somehow, some way, it's working for you. Eddie, anything else you're adding to your roll?
For Eddie, no.
Okay. Okay, before we even go on with this roll, one more play-by-play. Eddie, you explain how does Sanctuary flavored, and it explained how you're kicking Mavet.
It's just like how I'm imagining Sanctuary works in this context is that as Mabet is actually trying to basically use all 4 of his arms to try to come and take Eddie. It's like there's actually 4 smoky fists that come to block one, block another one, block another one, block another one, and they all start pressing down onto the fists. It's and then that's when when Eddie is able to take advantage of the moment and actually run over and kick Mabet down into the ground into the burning bookcase.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Mabet, what is your counter with this? How are you reacting to all this?
So as Eddie trips me into the burning bookshelf, I lay there laughing on the ground. And I use my astral arms to essentially pick myself back up and get ready to go back to knocking him out.
And Eddie, as you fight Mavet, and as this combat is getting closer to its end, you look at Mavet, and it doesn't look like broken bark, but broken glass on the ground. You see it shimmering from the fire, like he is a construct of glass. All right, boys. Like I said before, resource consumption. It sounded like no one's. Mavet, you used your visage to get a +1. Eddie, anything you're using?
Nothing that I'm adding, no.
Okay, final roll. -4 to your roll, Mavet. And +5 to Eddie's roll.
Potentially last roll.
Last roll. See how it works. You have inspiration. Oh, fuck. You're not going to beat that. That's a natural 20. This time I kind of want to, Mavet, you have the quill to your own fate. We can hear final moments exactly how it goes down, but Eddie, what's the final assault from you? Without going too much in detail of the last moments of Mavet or, disintegration and whatnot. Like, let me hear the assault. Are you speaking at all, or are you thinking?
Is it me or Mega?
No, I was asking Mega, just to clarify.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said my bad.
No, I apologize. I asked you, Mega, explain your final assault towards Mabet without going too much into detail about the specifics of, the final couple moments.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and I think like because of the setup from like the previous rounds, like Eddie is actually going to tackle Mabet until he is pressing his body up against the burning bookcase, and just
Yep.
like trying his best to hold him there, and even some like the smoke around them starting to like bear its weight down onto Mabet's body in the process.
Okay.
Kind of like, in fact, I would probably venture to say like that it would be like especially like firmly pressed on Mabet's throat.
Oh, God. Mavet, please. How do you die?
You want it crazy, right?
Yeah, make it crazy.
Okay. Let me compose myself. Is this what you wanted? Are you happy? You kill everyone, huh? As Mavet is using his glass astral arms,
Yep.
you see him laughing maniacally as he's punching himself in the face over and over again. This is what you wanted. And they start to shatter and shatter. And eventually all the glass shatters. And as you see, once the glass shatters, smoke starts to be coming from the glass as it attempts to hit Mavet in the face as his laughter begins to die down. And then the smoke slowly dissipates into the fog cloud, becoming one with Eddie again.
Okay.
And as he slowly lets out his laugh, he looks there, smiling, where he believes Eddie's eyes are.
It's like, and then Eddie will respond, "No, I'm not happy, and I have to live with that."
Okay. 250 XP to the both of you. Jot that down. All right. Oh, fuck. All right.
So, Beluya, you heard a lot
yeah.
of cartoon effect sounds going on in the southern part of the library.
Yeah, I do apologize.
I do apologize.
She's just trying to track the sound, trying to follow where she hears everything. There's a lot of commotion. She can't see shit, but she's trying to make out where the noise is coming from.
Yeah.
Like eventually, like the smoke would start to clear until all that's left in the southern part of the library is Eddie standing over a pile of like broken and melted glass, burning over a still burning bookcase. Uh,
Okay. Let, I'm dying, Aluya. Like, give me a little bit of RP here. Like, I'm a bit starved for Aluya content.
Sorry, I'm
I need more
struggling.
Aluya content.
I'm struggling myself with this computer.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
after the aftermath of everything, and still her feeling bad about Seer and understanding what Eddie might be feeling, and knowing that there was something wrong with Mavet, she'll approach Eddie.
Are you sure there's nothing in the back of your head that's not telling you might be next?
No, I mean, if he wanted to, he would have done it already, like point blank. Like, make no joke. She knows the threat that he can be. She ain't trying to be on his shit list.
Trying to be on the Schindler's List, huh? Okay.
But yeah, she'll approach him. Eddie, if you don't mind getting shocked a little, could I hug you?
There's no time for that right now.
There is always time for a hug. Come in. Come close. Let us take in this moment and the events together.
I don't want to hug until I see them again.
You think we will?
So it's at this moment that that Eddie like starts making a connection with Owen. Owen?
Oh, yes, Eddie. What is it?
When did you break connection with Seer and Mavet?
Yes. That would be around. Yes. About a half an hour ago. Oh, sorry, Eddie. Something happened. Oh. And you feel the connection sever.
Isn't like Owen stops speaking?
Yeah, he stops speaking. You still have a connection. It's just he stops speaking. The line is closed for now. Something caught his attention.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
You remember where we were half an hour ago?
Yes, we were in the scrying place, the scrying pool.
We need to go there right now.
Okay.
Okay. I need to ask the party, which route do you take? Do you go south or north?
I think Eddie, because he hasn't seen it yet, like he's immediately going to start going north to see what his options are.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to expedite things further, if you go the northern route, it would bring you the same way to the shrine and where you met the Rat King, Marvin. If you go south, that would bring you towards the greenhouse room, where the only way through is through that throne room.
Well, that's not happening, so we're
Yep.
obviously going north.
Yep. So let me just gather everyone up, and I'll do my DM magic here. Just copy and paste everyone here. Okay. 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 All right. I'll bring over Mobet as well. Scroll, you guys, is all the way to the right side of the map. All right, you guys come to the room filled with armor suits after going through the tunnel, the cave. You're back where you guys started oh so long ago. The ruins of the statues are still on the ground.
Like Eddie just continues storming past them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we have no choice but to go this way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you try to interact with the door to the south, it feels like there's a wall in the way.
Like Eddie goes over,
Mm-hmm.
remembering what needs to be done.
Yep.
I think he would. Oh, what would he leave? Thing is considered.
As well as Luya, are you gonna be making a sacrifice?
Oh yeah, for sure, because that's what we have to do every time we come across this thing, right?
What would you like to sacrifice?
You know what? I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna prick my finger and drop some bloodlets into it, but I'm gonna charge it with my electricity.
Hmm. Okay, roll me 1d12. Eddie, what are you what are you gonna sacrifice?
I think actually Eddie is going to, funny enough, possibly out of respect for the last two people that he had to take care of, he's actually going to like give it water.
Okay. Okay. Aluya, you take 11 points of damage. There's no way to reduce it, regardless of features or spells. It's just 11 solid damage as your vitality is sapped from you. And as blue transparent hands sink your droplets of blood into the blossoming flower of a stargazer, in return, you see that 11 gold coins is presented to you. Eddie, you are sacrificing water?
Yeah, he has water in a water skin,
Yeah.
so
Okay. You put in the water. Out of curiosity, is this all of the water that you have on you?
yeah, he would empty the water skin into it.
There you go. Perfect. So you empty out the water into the basin, and it seems like there's a bit of confusion with the hands. Not sure how to take the offering. Then you see like invisible like hands, basically searching your body, doing a cavity search. And once it is satisfied that this isn't something you have in abundance, it turns to steam. And I'm gonna say that you get 1 gold coin back.
Yeah, he takes the gold coin and like goes down the path again with as a man on a mission.
Okay. Aluya, you following?
Yes.
You follow suit. Move your token quick. Yeah, Eddie is fast to get out of this room. And Luya begins to leave. And as you guys make it down, I think the camera lingers on Peckins as he tilts his head left and right. Then we fade to black. We focus on you two as you begin to make your way. You're going down the hallway. You find the four-way junction with bloody footsteps leading to the greenhouse as you are on the other side. And you make your way down the hallway, down the stairs, until we see the secret room of the scrying pool. Okay. All right. So, as you guys enter this room, you see two obsidian mirrors with silver trimming. I need to ask, as you come into this room, do you look at the mirrors?
No, for me, I'm still seeing the scrying pool and remembering everything I saw. I kind of fixate on that a little bit.
Yeah, your eyes are fixated
Like,
on the scrying
when
pool.
Eddie was first in here, were these mirrors already in here, or?
Yes. And if you recall, the very first thing Seer did when she came in here was investigating the mirrors. But you quickly left after the argument that Mavet started with drinking from the pool. And Aluya would be able to know that Mavet, after she began to invest in the scrying pool, also examined the other mirror.
I believe Mavet looked at the mirrors, but he also drank from the water, so I don't know which one had an effect on him.
Those last two things, they were made of glass.
So it very well could be the mirrors.
Like, I need you to stand by in case something bad happens. And when I say stand by, I mean stand next to me.
Okay.
So, Eddie's going to, like, I move to this part of the room, and he's actually going to take a short sword, and he's going to poke one of the mirrors.
Oh, okay. You're gonna poke. Like, define a poke. Are you scratching it? Are you attacking it?
He is scratching it in case, basically, he's trying to figure out if this is something solid or if this is something that, like, winds up getting liquidy.
Okay. So, east or west?
We'll do east.
Okay. To the east. Mavet, are you there? I didn't think so.
They said they had
Yeah, I'm
to.
here.
Oh, there they are.
Okay.
My mic is bad though.
Yeah, that's fine. Eddie, as you begin to poke, you feel as if it is solid. Mavet. What is the worst pain Mavet's ever been in? What sound would he make as a tortured soul of sorts?
The
Agony.
same sound that happened when his old self transformed into the beast.
Let me hear it.
Oh shit, I'm in the line at cookout. Okay, one sec.
Devotion to D&D,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Okay. Now we made an ass out of Rakusan. Eddie, what's your next course of action? Seems like this causes physical pain to a person within the mirror.
Eddie is going to now take his hand and he's going to reach into the mirror to see if maybe his hand will go through it.
Okay.
No, step bro, that's my twig.
Oh my god, I love how you're saying that and you're still in the line.
Okay. Okay. So you're attempting to reach within the mirror. What
That's
is...
why Aluya's next to him in case something bad happens.
Yeah. What's the best way of putting this? I think the only thing I can say is it feels very it feels full. I think that's the issue. And I don't have a good comparison of what it would be like to be like too full, especially with a substance like this. But regardless to say, there's just no cavity, there is no entry for you. It just seems like there is no room for your hand to go in. But it feels weird. It's not exactly glass, but it's definitely not a liquid.
How big are these mirrors?
I believe last time I said they're about 8 feet. If not, they're retconned as 8 feet now.
They look heavy.
Extremely so.
Aluya, I need you to help me tip this.
Tip the mirror over?
Yes, but without breaking it.
She checks out her swole arms now. I think I could do it.
Okay.
Okay. So your plans are to tip it over and break it? Is that am I understanding that correctly?
First, without breaking it, just to see if basically if he can't go through it, but it's full, he's gonna see what happens if he tips it over and see if it tries to empty.
Okay. I like that. Okay. And just to clarify, mirror side going flat on the ground, or are you pushing the mirror
Yes.
on its... Okay.
Like toward, like a mirror side being moved toward the ground.
Yes. Okay, I got it. But there's no need for a check. Like, you guys could keep attempting this, and time isn't of an issue right now. But I will say, like, a good 15, 20 minutes pass. So, just to clarify, time at the moment, the last time you guys had a long rest was pretty fucking late. You guys started up in the mid to late afternoon. And after everything that transpired, especially negotiations with both Yorgu and Marvin, it is getting towards like the mid-evening, getting close to night once more. That aside, I just want to make sure that I say it out loud at some point during the session. The mirror is coming down, and we see Mavet being pushed against the glass, like the weight, the gravity is affecting him, but his face is being smushed against the mirror, scratching it up. Both of his hands are touching the mirror. His belly is flat with it. It doesn't seem it's sending him through, but it does seem like gravity and motion does affect him.
Eddie's going to try like one more time before he's going to attempt something that's like riskier, but
Okay.
trying to like talk to Owen one more time.
No connection.
Owen, I could really none
No.
at all. Got
Yep,
it.
none at all. It seems you hear static on the end. It sounds like something extreme popped up that requires the attention of a huge ass motherfucking brain.
All right. In which case, Eddie is going to like
Eddie,
like
I-
basically like you look smushed up against the glass, like and like there's like just no give at all.
First, what were you going to say, Luya? Then I'll answer your question.
do you think if I dispel the magic in the mirror, it would help, or it would make it worse?
Guess like that's one thing to try. Don't
And
want to risk breaking it.
and
I don't want to break it. I just want to dispel. That's all.
I'll repeat that one more time, Aluya. Sorry, it's just my echo is ruining your side of things.
I don't want to break it. I just want to dispel. Nothing more. I just don't know if dispelling it would be really bad either way.
Okay. Thank you.
I think I'd sooner try to dispel it than try to break it first.
All right, I will give it a try. Which one should we start with?
He's gonna point to now the western mirror. Off table, giving Mavet time to like get out of the line.
Yeah. Okay.
She's going to rub her hands together, and you're going to see like faint little sparks come out and just gently touch the mirror. And it's going to just get like encased in like this sheer coating, and it's just going to fade away.
Okay. Make me.
Just in case, I'm also guidancing her on this roll.
Okay. With guidance, make me the ability check using your spellcasting ability.
Okay.
Make sure to add that 1d4.
Just to check, right?
Yes.
If it's from your you give a charisma check.
The spellcasting modifier. Yeah, which should be wisdom, right?
No, it's like her dispel magic's coming from sorcerer.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Do you have any spare sorcery points,
Yeah,
Aaliyah?
might be a good time.
I have, I think it was 3 left.
Like a fun fact, in case you didn't know, since this is an ability check, you can actually like spend a sorcery point to roll an ability check.
Then I'm gonna do that then.
Just for my reference, is that again optional rule, or is that like one of the features from Sorcerer?
It is a Tasha's rule,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
for sorcerers,
Okay. Perfectly fine.
beginning at level 5 sorcerer.
Awesome to know. So it's 1 sorcery point to re-roll an ability check. Okay. Let's see it.
Roll. So she can only do this once.
1d4.
Add a d4.
Yep. What's the total there? 17. Any other kind of bullshit before I go on?
I don't know, like, I don't know what the DC for this is, so I'm going to use up the I've been holding on to for a very long time
The
and add it to her
inspiration.
roll.
Did you say the inspiration or the D6?
The D6.
Okay. That should be enough. Let's see that roll.
You're rolling the d6?
Either one of you, it doesn't
You
matter.
can roll the D6.
Yeah. Right ahead. You have the honors.
God damn it, Eddie. Jesus.
Well, here's the thing. You got a 17. The DC was 18. So that +1 makes it a success. I want to flavor up the spell and how you're touching the mirror.
Like I said, she kind of focuses on herself. She rubs her hands together. Some static comes out. She gently touches the mirror, and it's like coated in like this sheer wall going across the whole thing, and it slowly dissipates from top to bottom.
Okay. And I want to imagine, like, at the moment you touch the black mirror, the black surface, that we see like a white, no, actually a pink, salmon pink spiderweb fracture that starts from your touch of your fingertip and gradually, like, I mean, within like a half second, expands once, then expands again until we see the shatter as it's like, what the hell's the name of the closet from that one famous series? Fuck, what the hell? I'm blanking
Closet
here.
from that one famous series.
Yeah, the fucking
There's a lot
lion.
of closets.
The lion. What the fuck's the name of the closet?
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah,
Chronicles of
Narnia.
Yeah, Narnia. It's like the opening to Narnia. Thank you. Fuck. I wanted to say Nirvana. And that's what I was stuck on. So, like, the opening to Narnia, like, it's this flat mirror that has a cavity within it, and Seer, much like being frozen within the statue, you are released, and you remember nothing from the point of being in this room to where you were killed. But I will say, resources-wise, you have half health from that absolute ass beating from Eddie, and all the resources you used during that combat were used. So keep that in mind. But it took a fucking toll on you. That includes the items as well.
Alright, that means I can delete stuff now.
Yep. Yeah, imagine it like the reflection was using you as its video game inventory.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but describe how you look, how you come out. Let me hear this.
Let's see. Well, we are playing with liquids and stuff nearby, so I just want to imagine as this mirror breaks, it's just kind of like a giant, vast amount of like water just spills out from this mirror as basically Seer tumbles out. They don't have hair. So it's basically like a bald genasi. And very much it's just like coughing. They look drenched as if they are just like in a pool of water. And very much it's like they, even though it felt like an instant where they forgot everything, they very much just don't remember anything going on. So they're just confused. And they're currently prone on the ground, just like stuttering, trying to just get air in. So very much you see a wet genasi.
A wet genasi.
Aluya is seeing that it somehow worked, and Seer's on the ground. She's like beaming from ear to ear. She doesn't care. She's gonna go to Seer and hug her. And then she's gonna motion for Eddie to come in. That's one, Eddie.
Still need my vet.
Okay, but you're gonna come in here. You're gonna get some of this. She's gonna exhale. Whew. Really well. And she's gonna try again.
Okay. You know the DC? DC 18.
Guidance again.
If there's anything you guys can do, now is the time. Oh yeah, there we go.
Automatic success, bitch.
Yep. I want to see the assistance. What does your guidance look like, especially with the absence of Eddie at the moment? Like, what does this look like?
Honestly, like in both cases, I think actually how Eddie is assisting is that he is putting his hand um over Aluya's, actually trying to like uniquely like bolster the effect of this spell by accessing his connection to both of these people.
Hell yeah.
Essentially trying to like break through the magic through like the sheer strength of his bond with them.
Okay. Mavet, although you can't respond, you're still going to keep this down and in your head. Half health, same as with good old Seer, and any resources that you consumed are consumed. But again, spiderweb fracture from Aluya. Each half second, we see like a giant impact from the gentlest of touches, and a cavity opens up to that famous wardrobe from that series that no one cares about, and both of these people are freed. Congratulations, everyone. Give yourselves 150 EXP each. That was excellent role play. That was excellent side tangent.
I'm coming out. I want the
above
world.
table. This is why I wasn't that concerned about what would happen to your character earlier.
Yeah, that's why I figured as much. The moment I told you that it was that Seer died.
Yeah,
Oh.
I literally thought I was dead because I misunderstood what happened.
That's perfectly fine. That's why I didn't correct you.
Seer's death would have made Eddie suspicious, but his lack of connection to Mavet cemented it.
Oh yeah.
Aluya's now between them both on the ground. She's looking at Eddie. Come on. It's happened. You know what we're going to do now.
I don't understand what's going on.
Shh. Gentle, hot angel. Shh.
Like I guess like it would be really confusing for Seer and Mavet, but just like Eddie kind of like looks a little more like a bit irritated, but he sighs and just says, "Fine."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys are all so snuggly, and oh, Eddie, you smell so good. Oh, nuzzles.
That is incredibly incorrect. He smells of ash and blood. Mavet and Elixir smell like absolute shit being inside of this.
Hey, you don't know what smells good to her. Maybe she
Okay.
likes ass and shit and blood.
You know what? You're right. It's like that episode of Futurama where like that woman loves to smell garbage instead of flowers.
So just so everybody's heard that incorrectly, it's like Aluya loves the smell of ass, shit, and blood.
Yes, it is factually correct.
I gotta hold back a joke. This joke
There you go.
is really like awful, but oh my god. I'll say it next time later.
Okay.
Before we forget, so Mega, I'm doing the painful process. I deleted everything. But let's go through the things. I used potion invulnerability, a potion
Yep.
of speed, a potion of
Yep.
flying, a spell of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I burned, Mega? I burned 2 healing potions.
Um, uh, I think that's the extent of it.
All right, then
'Cause
currently
I think everything else you drank from your class resources.
Yep.
very much then Seer is out of spell slots, lost invaluable items that they'll never probably get again unless they make them,
Mm-hmm.
and very much they just look horrible.
Yep. Okay. Let me, just for a good 5 minutes, let me hear a little bit of RP that everyone's together, everything is over. Then I got something to end this session on. Not everyone at once.
So,
Does Aluya eventually let go of everybody?
Sorry, I was typing. Yes, she lets go.
Yeah.
But she's very happy. She's beaming.
There you go.
do you mind if you explained what in the Nine Hells happened?
Well,
This isn't gonna make any sense, but I killed both of you.
that is, yes, correct. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So points to Seer. It's like, you tried to burn Aluya alive. Then points to Maved. And you were just being an asshole.
Well, if I did anything wrong, I apologize. Sadly, I really don't remember anything. In fact, kind of makes me a little bit annoyed that I don't know what transpired. Although, that's not the worst of things. Kind of like you'll see the bag and you'll see that possibly all the things they use are like just sadly empty bottles. So, lots of resources gone as well. It's as if I took a nap, woke up, and everything got stolen.
You definitely drank them all.
Yeah, but we have you both back, so yay!
I mean, better than dead. Is that the only thing that occurred? How much time has passed since we both were entrapped?
I think it's like almost evening.
I thought we were just an evening. Technically, it's been a whole day. If it's back to night again, it's basically been 24 hours.
Well, keep in mind, you took a late rest. It was like a very, like, early mid-morning when you guys took your long rest.
Ah, well.
Yeah, that's where it got a little funky.
No, that doesn't make sense. Well, that doesn't make too much sense. And that means that's straight up 12 hours then. Because we took a long rest and then we were exploring and then it kind of moved through time. So about 12 hours then.
Yeah, because it happened between, I would say, like closer to 5 a.m. in the morning. You guys took a long rest. I don't believe anyone took watch, so it should have been just 8 hours. Yep, so that would have been 5. Yep, so that would have been about 3 o'clock. After
1 o'clock.
that, oh sorry,
If we started at 5 a.m.
Yeah, 5 a.m. 1 o'clock. And through negotiations, like I'm gonna say, like a lot of this transpired within 3 hours. So yes, you know what? I am overcharging you guys. I would say that it is mid-afternoon. So I'll settle for yes, like I'll settle for about like 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock steady, and that's with just me being not clear since you guys are in the dungeon.
Eddie
Straight
will
5.
say instead, like late afternoon, I think. Although, Zach, I guess you wouldn't remember the last half hour.
No,
I don't
sadly.
know how long it take to get here.
Very much when we walked into this room and I looked upon these things. Now I wake up wet.
Yeah, just to clarify, one more thing, traversing in the dungeon. It is not a 1-to-1 ratio when going to each quadrant. Like, if we were to separate this dungeon into 4 different sections, it is miles long. So we can attribute that to the time dilation here.
As my question says, what else transpired? Did they say anything? Did you notice any strange things? Things I should be aware of? Because reason why I mention is that if you were fooled by it, it means then it retained, well, all my mental faculties and memories. So, I don't know its extensive powers. Maybe it memorized something that I don't, or maybe made up things.
I don't know. There was a thing with Eddie and a woman, and you. I don't know the details. You did not really want me to go in the room, so I kind of stayed out a little bit. But I came in. But I don't know.
Other
You would
version
even
of you got charmed succubus.
Wait, what?
It's not important right now. The important part is that we know where the body is, but the Tarrasque skeleton. But like, we need to get permission first before we can actually get to it if we don't want to risk our lives.
And just to really like outline this so it's not forgotten, the 2 objectives here is entry, whether through force or through a blessing, to get into the Grave of Ill Omens. And most importantly, if you guys want to spare an innocent woman's life, you need to snatch her dream away. That is the very last thing on your little docket. You have all the other ingredients. Again, yeah. At the end of the day, you could kill her, you could save her. It is up to the party, but saving her requires one more step.
Hmm.
Yeah, we could
Well,
chat about this, but I'm a little concerned about something.
I wish I could ask more questions, but I will trust your judgment more.
It's just like I was talking with Owen before and I got caught off suddenly, and I'm wondering if maybe something happened.
And I feel like at that moment, everyone gets a headache as you guys feel a forceful connection. The pool. Check the pool. Around the dungeon, everywhere around this area. Today. And again, it's sounding like static, like there's a bit of interference.
Wait, so it sounds like we're really good point.
Oh, Jesus. Mute yourself
God.
quick, Aluya. Yeah. Mute yourself, Aluya, and one more time, Mobhead.
Oh, I said it sounds like Aluya's mic. I was just making a
Yeah.
joke to try to get some XP.
What was the joke? I want to hear the damn joke.
The joke
That
was
Owen
basically the
static
feedback.
was like Aluya's mic.
Yeah, and it worked out really fucking well with that. Holy shit.
You're going to see Seer stand up and be like, I'm guessing we don't have time to really speak. Strange favor. Looks to Eddie. Do you got a light?
Eddie will take his hand on top of like Seer's head and light it on fire with prestidigitation.
It doesn't pop off like the big booming hair they have. It's more like a short, very much pixie cut kind of look right now. And they're like, appreciative. It'll come back in maybe a few hours.
No, Owen
Cool.
said to check the pool everywhere today.
Looks to Leah and goes like, I can do it, although I'm a bit spent for apparently no reason in my brain. Would you like me to do it, or would you?
And just to keep in mind, if I wasn't clear, everyone heard that. That wasn't just Mega. That was a full-on plea to everyone.
Yeah, Eddie was underlining it, just like, hey, we're...
Oh, I'm aware. That's why I'm just asking. Does Leah want to go into the pool, or should it be me?
I think he's suggesting that everybody look.
What's gonna work? Teamwork.
I'll look with everybody.
All right, we'll just look.
Yeah, because like I mentioned before, you have a certain radius and a time frame to work with when you're viewing this alone. But as you guys work together, you guys can get a bigger and more full story. If everyone does it, I need everyone to make me, I believe last time I had it as a... God, I don't want to dig through it again. It is a DC 18, and I believe it was intelligence for, because I attributed it to history. Make me intelligence saving throw, DC 18. Irregardless, everyone roll me a 1d12. That is the psychic damage you take. If you succeed, you take half of it. Oh, 1d10, sorry. I believe it was 1d10.
Someone will have to roll for me.
That's perfectly fine. I can roll for you.
I have a -1.
Yeah. Roll your damage, and I'll roll what you got. There we go. That's what it was. Okay. Okay. Bam. Failure, 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 success. Everyone rolled their own die, 1d10. Everyone takes full damage except for Seer. You take half.
What's my number so I can keep track?
I'm fairly certain half of 75 should be 32. Round it down. And after that, I got it for you. It'd be 6. That'd be 2. 26. Okay. You have 26, buddy. Okay. I wrote it down on your sheet. Everyone take your damage.
Look at that math. 4, 6, 8.
It was a 1d10, not 1d12, but the math still checks out for you, Luya. Sorry, that was
oh my
on
god.
my side. Oh, never
4,
mind.
6, 8, 10.
If you wanted to go with the d10, go right ahead. But yes, you all crowd around the pool. You are looking within it. There is a turmoil, an eddy, essentially, a vortex within this silver pool. And as you're going in, you see a replay of today, 24 hours from now. And as you play along the day, all of you act like beacons in different areas, covering different parts of the forest, the dungeon, the wizard's tower, the fort. You guys are keeping track of it all, and this is what you piece together. And since everyone decided to come in, I'm going to give you a little extra at the end. First of all, let's set the scene. We have an establishing shot at Fort Keppa. That's where you guys went to and essentially got into this dungeon through. That's where you found your little entrance. You see the establishing shot of this keep standing tall with its gates slowly beginning to rise. That's where we focus on. Metal chains retracting, the gate rising, and we hear the putter and the growl of a mechanical machine beginning to move. We see it blowing out smoke, much like a dragon. And within it, we see a hodgepodge of goblins, no longer regular goblins, as most of them were murdered. We see like little fire goblins, little water goblins, earth goblins, like all these little critters, all these elements working together to move this monument forward as this crab-like machinery begins to step forward, breaking tree branches, trunks, creating small depressions in the ground with each step, and leading the charge on a very, very large war horse. We see Gungra, the war chief, as he points a finger forward, and we see out in the distance the wizard tower. And we see time begin to move forward again and again. And this time, our shot is an interior shot with a high ceiling. We see a singular bed, a spiral staircase, along with various bookshelves. And near a writing desk is a person cloaked in black. We see his hands begin to move, and we see the flicker of light that we can only assume comes from a lamp or a candle. But as we come closer, the camera swivels. We see that there's no candle, no lamp, no light source, as we see the light emanating from his hand. Zoom in close, and we see almost like magma veins, an orange and red skin glowing as the quill begins to write and write, almost scale like skin. And we hear the person repeating over and over again, "Oh, where is that dumb bird? I told him, take care of them, and come back to me." And he keeps me waiting and waiting and waiting, and he begins to crumple up the paper, and it burns in his hand. Oh, I'll just remind him who's in charge. And ash begins to flutter from his hand. So close, so close. If I could just make it past that damnable dryad. And his hand covers his eye and forehead, and we see the face of a dragonborn. Standing up, I think he just mumbles to himself, "Just one more push, and we can get in there. I can finally, yes, I can show them all how great I am." And as the train passes, bear with me. All right, sorry about that. We see him pacing around the room, just lost in visions of grandeur. grandeur as he is just saying, they'll all know me. I'll change everything. And as he stops and looks out the soul window, I think he mumbles something to the effect of, change the world. And all of a sudden, we see the camera shake. We see rubble explode. We see a large javelin piercing through the cobblestone. And then another one, and another one. As the man begins to freak out, we see, yes, giant, heavy balls of iron begin to make the stone explode from inside the wizard tower. Through the opening, we see a goblin king raising up his hand, roaring as a charge to destroy this tower and destroy this man for tricking him. We see these goblins begin to run up the stairs of the wizard tower. We see this mechanical machine shooting out projectiles from it. And we see the wizard, the right-hand man of Gungra, begin to cast a spell. And we see fire flicker from his hands as if it might be a fireball, perhaps another destructive spell. The man begins to panic. He begins to run down the stairs for safety. And as he begins to run down, little goblin genasi, begin to block his way. He pushes them aside, and they begin to fall to their death. One begins to stab at his leg, and he develops a limp as he begins to rush through. And finally, we see him on the base level. It looks like it goes downward, as if to a secret dungeon. The camera goes past this man, follows down the stairs, and we see that it leads to the greenhouse where the guardian stands before the grave of ill omens. To the man's back, he has an army ready to burn him. To his front, there is a monstrosity that will not let him pass. He begins to hyperventilate. I need help. I need time. Damn it, I need time. And he just begins to curse out. He looks through his spells, tries to think of something, anything to save him. And we see Gungra walking up to the man, great sword in hand. And he growls at him. Firebird, you thought you were smart. Thought you could trick Gungra. Think again. And he raises up the great sword. The dragonborn eyes widen. And then we see him cast a spell. And under his breath, he says, "Gods, I hope this works." The great sword comes down. It slashes into empty space and bites into the stone. Man is nowhere to be seen. The genasi, gone. Perhaps invisible. Or perhaps somewhere else. We see the necromancer, Firebird, Phoenix, blinking a couple times. Is a close-up of his face. And we see a gentle wind moving his clothes. He stands up looks past the verdant trees, the blossoming flowers. His gaze follows up a grove, a hill. And on top of this hill, laying, desecrated, decapitated, is a large monstrosity, a magic sigil acting as its blood, glowing red, glowing the creature. It's the body of a Trask. Looking around. Is that daylight? No, it can't be daylight. Look up towards the sky. All there is a ceiling. Looks around. There's trees, waters, river. But the prize is in sight. Starts to give out a maniac laugh. Or a laugh from a maniac. Can't believe it. It worked. It worked. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He begins to stride forward, as we now have a time limit. That will be the end of the session. Thank you for joining us.
This has been House Common Blood. The intro and outro music is Oh My Dog by Savick, and any other music and sound effects used in the episode are royalty free. Credits can be found in the episode description. Please review us on whatever podcast listening app you happen to be using. And if you like us, tell other people. Word of mouth is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you soon.